All right. Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to another video here. Okay, today I want to kind of just go over some Nasdaq 100 future trades that I took. All right, I posted my entries on the trades that I took on the NQ, the Nasdaq, over on the Discord community. So if you're not currently a member of the Discord community, click on the link found in the description portion of this video. Invite yourself in. There is a channel titled The Trading Floor, and that's a environment or area where we as traders post screenshots or images of our trades that we take during the session when it's open, okay, from 9:30 Eastern, moving forward, okay. So I posted my entries on the Discord today. So if you're someone interested in coming over and being part of a team or community that is filled with future traders. Primarily, we trade the indice or index futures, but it doesn't matter if maybe you trade the currency futures, maybe you trade some means of commodity or futures. It doesn't really matter, guys. I mean, we are all future traders here on this channel, and everyone that's part of the Discord community. But like I said, most of us trade either the E-mini S&P 500 or the MES, the micros or the minis, the Nasdaq, the Dow. Some even trade the Russell, some people trade the gold, some people trade oil. So it really doesn't matter. Come over and join, so that way you can get a feel, get an understanding, and see some of the trades that some of the fellow members that are actually taking. Now, if you're someone that's interested and you're new to trading or just starting off and you have questions about futures, maybe the platform or margins or whatever it may be surrounding the market in general pertaining to the future markets, there's a channel titled General Chat, and you can come over and ask questions pertaining to the future markets. But again, we don't trade forex and we don't trade options, and on this channel. So anyways, I don't want to talk about that too much. Just join if you're interested and find the link down in the description portion. I just want to kind of go over a few trades that I took today. I know a lot of you guys here that are part of the channel like to see the trades that I actually take, and so I'm going to go over a few of those today. They were all on the Nasdaq 100 futures. So what I started doing was taking a look at the higher time frame. Now, I always talk about trading in the direction of the higher time frame, especially if you're someone that's new. So please do yourself that favor and figure out what the overall market is trying to do and trade in that direction, especially if you're someone that's trading supply and demand. That's how I trade, okay? I share every means and every piece of my strategy here on this channel. There are about 600 videos on this channel. Yes, it's a lot of videos, but you got to think about it. I am packing in content. I am sharing with you my way of how I actually trade, and so that other people out there can become inspired. I really want to see people inspired or become inspired to want to really, take their trading to the next level. So I share how I trade, on this channel here. Okay, that's the purpose. That's the reason and the purpose of why I started this channel. Okay, now I'm not an instructor or educator or teacher, even though so many people call me that. I'm just here to share my experience and share what I know with others, so that you guys can succeed just as well. Okay. Yes, there is if you're interested, a membership program for $6.99 a month. People always ask me that, okay? I get it every single day. But yes, it basically, it kind of curves the edge of those that are really trying to learn more. So I'm not going to say fast track pace, because, there's nothing, there's no way in life to actually, do something fast to be able to make money real quick, okay? You have to put in the time and put in the actual work, okay, to be able to get to where you want to be at to succeed. And I always talk about allow your passion, whatever it is in life that you love to do, allow yourself to follow that passion, and the money will come with it, okay? Don't do it the opposite way around, okay, or vice versa, okay? Because then, you're just chasing, okay? You're chasing something that may never work out. And I became passionate about trading, just to share that with you. And now I'm, many years later, I'm successful and profitable doing so. But, I took a beating and had my licks, and, ran against some brick walls. And, just like most people do when they first start off, they struggle trading until they figure out and have that aha moment where everything clicks. Okay, and I'll talk about that in many videos. All right, but anyways, talking about today's video is more so about the trades that I actually took. I'm not going to go into deep detail about the trades. Just want to give you a rundown of what I was, what I saw. Basically, first and foremost, the market was bearish on the Nasdaq. Okay, all right. This is my higher time frame chart. We're making lower lows and lower highs. We got this big swing to the downside here, and we're making, like I said, making lower lows and lower highs. Pay attention to structure like that. Market structure. If you're someone for the first time trying to pick up some information about trading as a whole, I don't care what market it is, understand market structure is the essential key to you and making a difference of you becoming successful or not. If you are in this and you have no idea how to read the market, you don't know how to follow market structure, you will not succeed. I promise you that. So stop now and understand and learn market structure. Okay. So again, we're making lower lows and lower highs. All right. And we were breaking to the downside today. Yes, right now we're kind of breaking back up to the upside. But during the time in which I was trading, I saw that we had a nice push to the downside, a pullback. This right here, this little red box here, that signifies or represents an area of supply. Okay. If you don't know anything about supply and demand, please dive deep, do your homework, do your research, and get an understanding. You can watch here on this channel, you can pick it up here on this channel, or you can go wherever you want to and learn it, okay? But I break things down pretty simplistic here on this channel as much as I can in reference to the style on how I trade. I believe in simplicity and everything that around me, okay? Not just trading. I try to make my life as simple as possible. And if you overcomplicate things, then you know how tough it can be, okay? But anyways, yes, we had a supply zone here. So basically what I do is I use paired charts. You guys that have been following the channel and part of the channel and are subscribers to the channel or members of the community on the Discord, you know what I'm talking about, okay? Paired charts, multiple means of confluence to be able to get into a trade because it works when you do so, okay? All right, so I saw this supply zone off of the higher time frame, and then I scaled down to my lower time frame. What you must understand and pay close attention to is price action as price is retracing back. So we're looking for a pullback or retracement to the supply zone, right? So if price starts to break structure back to the upside, I'm down on my 24 range chart now, so I scale down. But again, if price starts to break structure or on the retracement back to a zone where there's supply or demand, you got to pay close attention to that, okay? You really do. That's why price action is just as essential. You have to understand what's taking place, okay? But as price starts to retrace back to this area, okay, this is that supply zone that I marked up off of the higher time frame. This is an area of supply here. Even on the 24 range, you can see price is pushing to the downside. It taps into that area. So we have confluence on both charts, the higher time frame 60 range and the 24 range. So I'm interested to possibly looking for a short entry, but I'm not taking my trade directly off my 24 range chart. I want to scale down because there's just too much movement, and you can get involved in too much drawdown if you get into a trade, at the wrong area, and then the market pulls back against you. You may get scared out the market, close your trade out, or get stopped out, and then the market goes in your direction. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. It happens all the time, okay? Because people always talk about how they got into a trade, and the market ended up moving into the direction, and they just didn't stay in the trade long enough. So scale down even to a lower time frame chart, which I'm going to show you now. I'm going to scale down to my 12 range chart. So when I'm trading the Nasdaq, I trade range charts, guys, okay? And please do not ask me why, because I explained that a million times over in many videos. It's just simply because I'm able to see things a lot cleaner and clearer to the eye with using range charts versus time-based charts for me. But trade whatever works for you, whatever chart style works for you. All right, so I'm going to scale down to my 12 range chart because my 12 range chart is the entry chart that I use when trading the Nasdaq, okay? All right, to give me a better entry, okay? But I want to see everything kind of unfold. So when I see price pulling back right here on the 24 range, I don't really see any areas where price is where it's going to be conflicting for me to take a short entry, okay? Meaning that there was no really breaker structures back to the upside as price was retracing back to the supply zone. So now that we've tapped into that higher time frame supply area, what I would be looking for, which is this area right here, is basically I want to see, is price really going to try to continue pushing lower, okay? All right, The higher time frame is showing us that, but I want to see on my lower time frame on my entry chart, say for instance, that price is still rejecting and wanting to push lower. You know, sometimes you can look for that, I guess, in multiple ways. In a sense, some people use, you know, the M structure kind of rejection technique. I like to see, you know, kind of a break of structure to the downside on the lower time frame. Okay, so this is my 12 range chart. So basically, we got price retracing back up here. It taps into the higher time frame supply zone, and then, you know, we get a break and price breaks below. So we're making higher highs and higher lows to the upside, and then price breaks below right here. It starts to break below structure. This is right here below 303 and a quarter, and then down here at 300 and a quarter. It breaks below there. Now, what I would be looking for once price breaks below these areas here on the lower time frame is basically a pullback now to a key area supply on the 12 range chart, which would be in this general area right here. But that did not happen here, okay? It didn't immediately pull back. We didn't get a pullback before it just started running lower, okay? So what I did was, I started looking, price broke lower, right? I wanted to see price pull back primarily to this area right here, you know, at 310 and maybe a little higher, okay? Because there was a supply zone right here, okay? But when price on the 12 range chart broke structure to the downside, when I scale down to my lower time frame, now I'm looking for breaking structure below, it breaks below, okay? Off this swing right here to the downside, we have a breaker structure here, okay? It pulls back, it taps into this area of supply right here, okay? And again, I'm looking for price I really want to see it pull back to this area here, but it didn't do that, okay? It pushed lower, it pulled back, it rejected this area here. And this is what you can do. You can wait to take the trade at the break of the candle in opposite direction on the pullback to this supply area right here once it broke structure right here, okay? All right, so if we got a break below here, you can go short, or you can wait for a second entry or a double test in a sense, okay? And it did that here. It retraced back to the supply zone, rejected, pulled back again, you know, because you can wait for a second test to see is it going to hold here at this supply zone, or is it going to want to come up here and test this area here, okay? Either way, we're above a high volume area right here, okay, on the pullback to this area of supply, okay? So it actually gives you a first test and a second test here if you missed the first entry to get in, okay? But this was an opportunity to go short, because if you scale down now back over to the higher time frame, I'm looking at my 24 range, working price basically moved down to or go to once it rejects. So we're talking about below this area here at 15,300 and a quarter pretty much. Pull back to this red line right here. That was that supply zone area off the 12 range chart. Working out, take my trade back down to, basically back down to the low right here, okay? We're talking about right here at 15,279 and a half, okay? Back down to the low, because there's really nothing that's going to really stop us from wanting to test those lows. There was no continuation, or I'm sorry, there were really no breaker structures back to the upside when prices were retracing on the higher time frame, 24 range, and on the 12 range, right? 60 range right here, okay? So once you got into the trade, once you see the breaker structure on the lower time frame, when we scale down, once we tap into that higher time frame supply zone, we break a structure to the downside. We're looking for a pullback to a key area of supply on our lower time frame to get into a continuation trade going short back down to the low. Like I said, 15,279 and a half. And that's what I saw lining up. That's what I saw setting up when I took that supply zone trade off, you know, using the higher time frame and scaling down. Using multiple means of confluence, using multiple charts, puts you in the direction. We're already bearish, so why not take a short? That's what I did. So then from there, we just continue running lower. I mean, you know, making another low. So we push lower. We break this area structure right here below 272 and a half. So we break lower here, okay? And at this point, I'm looking for, you know, basically just retracements to key areas of supply to take continuations going short, okay? And what happened was price started to turn around and started to make higher highs and higher lows back to the upside. And we broke back into this swing right here, okay? There's some internal structure right here, right above 287 and 3/4. That price broke structure right there. But before price did that, I was looking down at my lowest time frame, my 12 range, the chart that I primarily take trades from. And, we are moving to the downside, so I'm interested in taking shorts, right? So when I scale down to my lower time frame, and there are instances in times where you can trade strictly from one chart, okay? But like I always say, try to do it in the direction of what's going on in your higher time frame. So if your higher time frame is bearish, then be taking your trades going short and looking for setups. So when price was making that downward movement, okay, it rejected right here, somewhere to the left-hand side of the chart. It must have been something. But at 248 and a half, 248 and 3/4, it starts to run back to the upside, making higher highs and higher lows. It breaks a small area structure right here to the upside, little zipper right here to the upside, okay? And at that point, I'm not immediately thinking of going long, guys, not at all, okay? Because the higher time frame is still showing me that we are bearish, right? So I'm still looking for a setup to go short. So basically what I did was I saw the little break here. Price started making these little higher highs and higher lows. But I also said to myself, if price comes back down and breaks back below 15,257, okay, all right, this break right here below this low right here, I'm going to be looking for a pullback to a supply area, a very short area, very quick area where there's a supply zone off the 12 range chart to go short, okay? So it does that. Look what it does. After making these little higher highs and higher lows, the market turns back around, breaks back lower, takes out 15,257, this little small area structure right here. And I'm looking for, at that point, I go ahead and mark up my supply zone right here. Little aggressive selling area right here. I mark it up right here. Okay? This little zone, this red box right here, that's a supply area. So I waited for price patiently to get back into the zone. Again, patience is everything. If you are someone that took this trade right here on this pullback right here, yeah, it may have worked out, but it'd be smarter to wait till price taps back into what? A untested zone of supply that hasn't been tapped into yet. Wait for it to get there, get the rejection, and take your shot going back to the lows right here. And that's what I did on this trade right here. I waited for price to tap into the supply zone. I got the break of the candle in opposite direction. I pretty much got in here. I think it was a 264 and a half. Let me double check 100% to see where I got in at. Did I post this trade? I may not have posted this one on Discord. I'm not sure if I did. Hold on one second, guys. Let me check and see. Okay, I didn't post this one on Discord. I posted I guess 2 or 3 of them on Discord. But anyways, it was for a quick scalp anyway. But I waited for price to tap back into the supply zone right here off of the 12 range chart. I'm trading strictly off the 12 range now, okay? But still in the direction of the higher time frame. And I was just aiming for, once I got the break of candle in the opposite direction here, I'll blow it up for you a little bit here, to come back down here and test the lows right here, primarily around 256, okay? So I got in at the break here at 64 and took it down to 56, okay? All right, back down to the low right here. Quick scalp, going short, all right? All right, so the next trade happened at this supply area right here. Let's talk about this trade right quick, all right? All right, I'm just going to give a quick rundown. I'm not going to break it all the way down in detail. But look, after that trade that I took short in this area right here, price kept making higher highs and higher lows to the upside, okay? Now here we have, an area of structure, a big swing to the downside. It broke a little small area of structure right here, right above 288. So it breaks to the upside there, okay? Now, at this point, in my mind, we're still bearish, okay? I'm not looking to take opportunities really to still go long because the market's still bearish, even on my higher time frame, the 60 range chart. So I start to see we have higher highs and higher lows to the upside. We got a break of structure above here, 288. All I'm looking for now is an opportunity to take a short entry, but I have to wait to see if price is going to break structure back to the downside, okay? So after making these runs to the upside, it turns back around, okay? Hits some area of resistance and starts to make swing to the downside. Low, lower, high, lower, low, boom, pulls back, and then breaks lower. It breaks structure right here below 259 and a quarter, okay? When it does that, I am all in and looking for a pullback to this area of supply right here. I draw it for you. Right here. This is an area of supply, okay? When price taps back into that area of supply, I'm looking at my 12 range chart then to see if we're going to get a break of structure on the 12 range chart, okay? Once price pulls back to that supply zone that I showed you, this is that supply zone right here around the 90 area. If you want somewhere between 89 and 90, we are above a high volume area right here, okay? All right, so I'm looking at my 12 range chart. All right, so what I noticed is that once we get a breakdown, right, okay, this is the zone area right here, okay, all right, get a break, we break below here at 79.5, break below, pull back, okay, looking for a pullback here, or you can wait for another, opportunity where price, it pulled back here and broke lower, so we got another swing to the downside, another break of structure to the downside, so we'll mark that area just as well, right here. Okay, this is a supply zone, aggressive selling right here. Wait for the pullback, okay? So you got two opportunities to get in, okay, pretty much. Now, this pullback right here, you may have not gotten into that trade there. You really have to pay close attention to what's going on here. There was a bit, the M structure formation right here that took structure or took formation right here with the break below and a pullback. You could have went short, or you can wait for another break to the downside, pull back to this key area. Oh, I marked the wrong area. I'm sorry, guys. Right here. Gracious. Wrong area. Okay. And actually, there was another. Yeah, that would have been another area to look for an opportunity to go short too. But, okay. So, either here or here. Okay. This one here, aggressive selling to the downside. Pull back. Look for the break of the candle in opposite direction. Take your short. Where should you take your short to? Well, just look at your higher time frame. Okay. All right. Now, when price started to retrace back to the key area of supply right here, all right, did it take out any means or major structure, on the tracing back? No, not really. And look at the 24R. So if you got into that trade on the 12R, then take your trade back down here to at least 69.5. Now look at the 12 range chart. If you look what happened here when price pulled back to that key area of supply off the higher time frame. Yeah, there was a little bit of a break of structure back to the upside here. But again, 69.5, 70 area, you're golden. You're golden, okay? Or you could possibly try to even aim for the low here at 64.25. So, but just be mindful of this area right here when price gets back down towards the lows and scaling back down to a lower time frame to see what also took place on the lower time frame, okay? Got to pay close attention to price action on the higher and lower time frame charts, okay? But either way, you got two opportunities to get in. Either here when you saw kind of a rejection based on, always talk about what? Wicks, price wicking out at a key area of supply and demand. It did that. Wicked here, pull back, and then retrace back to that area again, okay? Or it wicked at this area, okay? Push down, came back to the area again, it wicked. What does that mean? It's a sign of rejection, and you also got that information, all right? Take a look here, because price pushed up, boom, boom. Look at there. Information, okay? And then it pulls back to that area. Go short, okay? So to pull back, go short. Or wait for another structure break to the downside, okay? Pull back. Then you get a supply area right here. Let's erase that area right there. Aggressive selling, followed up with all those red candles. That's aggressive selling. Look for price to tap back into this zone right here on the 12 range chart. And then look for the breaker structure to go low and take it back down to the lows right here, that form on that retracement back to that higher time frame supply zone back here on the 24 range, okay? Back down here to either around, say, 70 or 65, somewhere in that area right there, okay? All right, but either way, let's say you got in here, let's just say you got in here on this second test right here, okay? Price pulls back. You got in here at 79. You took it down to 69 or 70. You're golden. You picked up, 9 or 10 points right there, okay? And maybe you held it. Maybe you took most of your contracts off and held it down with one remaining contract and took it back down to the low off that higher time frame right there, all right? You were golden. 10 points easy, okay? So, again, I wanted to talk about that trade there. All my trades were short for today's session, so just wanted to kind of, go over there, run down those trades right there. But again, if you're someone that's interested in joining the Discord, find the link down in the description portion of the video. Invite yourself in. Come over and join us on the trading floor, all right? And take a look at some of our trades and maybe ask questions if you're kind of curious, and come over to the general chat channel if you're someone that's new to trading futures, and ask questions if you have any. Also, please take the time, if you're not a sub, I don't know what you're waiting on. If you're not a current subscriber, click on the subscribe button. Be part of this community and start learning how to trade supply and demand the correct and right way. All right, so that your trading can take off to the next level. Okay, again, I'm not a teacher, an educator. whatever, a mentor. I'm just here to share my means of how I trade and publicly do so by sharing it with you guys, okay? You don't have to trade like me. I'm not saying you do. I'm just showing you how I do it on a day-to-day basis, okay? But again, click on the sub button. You don't have anything to lose, okay? Also, make sure to click on the bell next to the sub button or subscribe button so you never miss one of the uploads here. That will ensure that as soon as something is posted, you will be alerted and let you know that, hey, another video has just dropped that you can watch, okay? All right, and each video is packed with some content or some valuable content that you are going to definitely want to watch, okay? So please make sure to click on the bell to turn on all your post notifications. And last but not least, please make sure to drop a like by clicking on the thumbs up button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. If you're trading, please be safe in the market.